Hello, everybody. So, if you've been here for a little bit, you probably recognize what's going on here. And if not, I a while ago had a PowerPoint night with my friends, and mine was on ranking the Minecraft mobs based on their huggability. Yes, this is just an excuse for me to talk about the huggability of Minecraft mobs. Um, and I mentioned that I might kind of present this to y'all as well. So, we're doing it today. Here we go. So, as you can see, this is me ranking Minecraft mobs based on their huggability. So, how am I judging? And also, my love of pink is kind of biting me in the butt here because I blend in a little bit. But that's okay. That's okay. I just am in part of the pink void and it's great. So, judging criteria. This is entirely subjective. This is all my opinion. And that is the only thing that matters in this case because this is my personal ranking. How good would they be to hug? And how good of hugs would they give in return? Very important things. So, coming in at number 82, last, we have the Wither. He's going to be bony. He doesn't have any arms. He can't hug you back. He's also very explodey and would wither you on contact. So, you're just going to die via hug. And I don't think it'd be a very good hug. So, last place. Sorry, Wither. Number 81, we have the Silverfish. And yes, I did rank all of them. I went through the wiki. This is all of them. At least at the time when I made this presentation, it was all of them. So, silverfish, very spiky, very small, would be very hard to hug, would bite you, can't hug you back. So probably not the most ideal of hugging experiences. Not the most ideal of fighting experiences either. So, number 80, the Elder Guardian. Spiky. Again, no arms for hugging. Large, very hard to hug. Be just like trying to hug a giant boulder. He's very angry. He would hate you. He'd curse you. It would suck. Number 79. Again, we have an Endermite. Again, very small, very hard to hug. Would not be the most fun thing in the world. Cannot hug you back. Again, he's going to bite you. Like, it's not a fun hugging experience. I shouldn't have to explain this one. Number 78. We have a Guardian. Just like the Elder Guardian. Spiky. Cannot hug you. I didn't put it on there, but also very angy. Not going to curse you. So, slightly better hugging experience, but very angy. Also probably wet and slimy and not pleasant. No. Number 77, Wither Skeleton. So, while he can wither you on touch, ouch, ouch, yeah, and bony, he can hug you back. First one on this list that can actually hug you back. And that's why he's at number 77. Would probably stab you though, and that would be unpleasant. Number 76, we have the Ravager. Ravager? Ravager. Why did I say Ravager? Ravager. So, you might be like, why is this higher than some of the others? Might accidentally crush you, but consider this. You could lay on top of the Ravager and give a big ol' hug. Might struggle to hug you back, but could be an acceptable hugging experience. Not great though. Not great. Number 75, we have the Ghast. He looks like a marshmallow squid, and like that's points for that. He could hug you with the tentacles, so there's that. Might not be the most pleasant hug, but he could do it. Big and hard to hug though. Maybe he's squishy, I don't know, but like again, trying to like hug a boulder. He would shoot fireballs at you, and I don't think that being on fire is the most pleasant of hugging experiences. I don't think I have to explain myself for that one. Blaze would probably hurt to hug. Again, being on fire, probably not the most pleasant hugging experience. But nice and warm. Might smell like a campfire. I don't know, he's a sentient chandelier. I don't know that I've ever wanted to hug a chandelier, but maybe I do now. Number 73. We have the Ravager Jockey. Has a passenger that is capable of hugs. Like proper hugs. But does take away the prime hug spot of the Ravager. Maybe a cuddle bile? We could... Maybe? Potentially. Drowned. Probably wet and slimy. Most likely spells bad because, zombie. Wet zombie. But is person-shaped, and could hug back. So, points in his favor. Hopefully he doesn't have trident because that's a stabby hug, not fun. A husk. The advantage that he has over a drowned is that he is dry. So, maybe a slightly more pleasant hugging experience. He is person-shaped, but does make you hungry on contact, which is not really conducive to hugs. So, maybe if you have snacks nearby, I don't know. He probably also wouldn't smell that great, but yeah, getting there. A shulker. Again, you're probably like, why in the world is the shulker higher than some of the previous ones? Because he's a box. He's hard to hug. Can't hug you back, but consider the fact that he can make you levitate and a flying hug. Maybe you die, but hug in the air. Who knows? Could be fun. A stray. He's bony. He has wet and cold clothes. Would make it harder for you to approach him with slowness arrows for hugs. But maybe that's just because he wants you to work for it. Maybe that means that he's a much better hugger than he seems. Yeah? Maybe? Possibly? Could also be atrocious, but who knows? Magma cube. Would burn. Cannot hug back. But might be a nice, warm, squishy hug. Which sounds really weird. But the whole premise of this is weird. So let's just go with it. Alright, Vex. Small. Hard to hug. Probably is going to stab you in the process. But he could hug back. And I don't know, he could hold on to your arm. He could have a little parrot hug. I don't know. This is just vibes. This is entirely just vibes. Piglin Brute. Very firm hug. I feel like the kind of very firm hug that when you're sad and you're you just want to be I feel like could have that hug. But he is going to attack you on sight with no reservations, which would make things difficult. Would probably end up hugging you to death, but could be worth it. A Zoglin. Ow. You'd have to avoid bones. Probably doesn't smell great. I honestly don't know why I put this so high. I don't know. Moving on. Hoglin. Might stab you on accident. If you could hug on his back and you ride around, could be nice. But this does feel like more of Odysseus on the Monster Sheep vibes where you hang on the bottom. So maybe not entirely pleasant. But it could be a thing. I don't know. You're just here along with me. Evoker. He can summon extra hug buddies. He has arms, can hug you back. He is already in a prime hugging position. But 50-50 chance of the extra hug buddies or pain. So maybe not ideal. Vindicator. He would glomp you. That hurts. Ow. But good hug shape. Would take you out in the process. Does not understand that glomps are painful. We don't need to go back to the early 2000s and 2010s at anime conventions. We really don't need that. It's not necessary. Pillager. If, and this is a big if, you could dodge the crossbow. He's got a good, nice, standard hug shape. You could use the banner as a blankie. You got blankie hugs, which would be great. But I don't know, he just still doesn't have the best of hug vibes. Did I... Oops. All right. Presentation is a little funky. A+. Good job, me. All right, zombie. Usually in groups. Group hug. But probably doesn't smell great. However, his arms are in a nice default hugging position. He is ready. He wants that hug. Give it to him. A skeleton. Very bony. Again, it's probably not going to be the most comfy hug, but he has the spirit. You look at him. He knows. He knows a good hug. He does. He really does. Okay, moving on. Which, I don't know. Again, this is just vibes. Hug vibes. Number 59. Yep. Yep, which, there we go. Number 58, we have the Piglin Jockey. He's very cute. Like, look at him. Look at him. Look at that. He's cute. He is cute. Two times the hugging potential. But I do think that they'd kick your kneecaps in. They would steal them, no mercy, but he'd be really cute, so it'd be okay. Similarly, we have the Chicken Jockey. Also very cute. I really want to hug the chicken. However, the baby zombie would probably go in for a hug and end your hardcore world. Enough said. All right, moving on. We have the Skeleton Horseman. Skeleton Horse, very pog. 2 times the hugging potential. But I don't think the skeleton would want to let you hug his horse. I said horse. So you might not actually get hugs. So, like, we're not sure on this one. But, like, skeleton horses are so great. I love them. They're beautiful. Zombie villager, probably a little stinky, but he is at the ready for hugs. We love that for him. And he has the potential to become a regular villager, and those hugs would be fantastic. Here for it. We have the spider jockey. It's a skeleton plus a spider. There we go. What more do you need? Big hug potential. Lots of arms, lots of legs, lots of hugging potential. Spiders are docile in the light. They're not going to attack you. But the skeletons aren't, so he will attack you. So, like, mixed vibes on if they want a hug or not, which is not the most ideal when you're going in for a hug. Yeah? Yeah. Pufferfish. He's spiky, so probably a little ouchy, but when small, probably less ouchy. He's cute, though. Can't hug back, but he's not going to attack you on sight. Plus, like, you could put him in a bucket and hug the bucket. So, like, there is hugging potential there. Cave spider. Again, he has many legs for hugging. He's docile under light. You could get a hug, but he is poisonous. So, like, oops. Probably a little bit of an ouchy hug. Zombie piglin. Also, probably kind of stinky. You've got to adjust for your hugs around all of his bones. But ready for hugs all the time, and as long as you haven't done anything to him or his brethren, he's not going to attack you. He's just vibing. He's here. He's here for the hugs. Snow Golem. This is going to be a very cold hug. His arms aren't going to really wrap well for hugging back, but he's cute and friendly, but also might start melting during the hug, and I would absolutely panic. And I'd be like, what do I do? So, like, you know, something to keep in mind. The Skelly Horse. The good bony boy. Bony hug. He can't hug back well. But, Skelly Horse Pog. They are my friends, and I love them. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. So majestic. Love him. All right. Slime. Sloughed. Soft and squishy. Could sort of hug back. Can split into smaller I cannot speak. Can split into smaller slimes for more hugs. Fan of that. We like that. But also, like, D&D gelatinous cube could be a little sus. Warden. Danger hug. Definition of a danger hug. He looks like he would give hugs, but he might accidentally hurt you. I want him to give me head pats. Like, look at him. Look at him. Yes. I hope you agree with me. There's no other option. Iron Golem. He is big and he is strong, but he is also very firm, so might be a little bit of an uncomfortable hug. I can feel my ribs creaking already just looking at him, but he has the best of intentions. So I believe in him. Did I really do... I messed up more on this than I thought I did. To be fair, I do think I made this presentation at like 2 a.m. Tadpole. Small, slimy, not great for hugging, but he is a good little pal. You can hug him if he's in a bucket. He'll grow into a frog, and I think he would be good emotional support. Enough said. Spider. Regular spider, not the cave spider. Lots of legging for hugging. That makes no sense. He has lots of legs, good for hugging, there we go. Docile in the light. But if it becomes dark, you might surprise get bitten, and it'll be sad, and you'll have to kill your hugging partner, and that won't be ideal. No more hugs for you. So, these, all on the same slide, because they're essentially the same thing, but 41, 40, and 39. Tropical fish, salmon, and cod. They're wiggly, they're slimy, they're hard to hug, but again, you could hug the bucket, and they are friend shaped. Look at them, they're very neat. I like them, they're friends. Squid. Again, many arms for hugging. Probably kind of slimy. You might end up covered in egg, but it would be worth it. He's just a little guy. He's just a little guy with absolutely no self-preservation. Dolphin. Smooth. If you hug him while swimming, he can take you on a trip. He can't really hug back well, but he would try. Look at him. Look into those eyes. He would try. He would do his absolute best, and I love him for it. So, the glow squid. Exact same as the squid, but he glows, and you could glow too, and I think that's great. Frog. A little slimy, could maybe hug you back around the neck. You'd mostly be hugging him, but he's very friend-shaped, and I love him. Number 33, we have the parrot. He is good for pats. Shoulder time, he would snuggle into you. Maybe not the actual best for hugging, but look at him. He would cuddle. You could sort of hug him. You could do a little neck hug, it'd be great. Moving on. The phantom. His wings, that wingspan, it'd be great for hugging. He only comes out when you need sleep. He will hug you to sleep. He says, get in bed, go to sleep, and he will hug you. Fabulous. Axolotl, again, a little slimy and wet, but would be good to hug. He's just a little friend, and you can also hug the bucket. This is also assuming that, like the others, this is like Minecraft proportions. Please don't go and try to hug a real-world axolotl. For most of these things, if there is a real-world equivalent, don't go try to hug them. That's a bad idea. Disclaimer. There we go. Moving on. Look at him. He's very cute. He has little flower feet. Creeper. I think he would be fluffy. I am a strong believer in the fluffy creeper agenda. I'm here for it. Look at him. He's great. He'd be soft and huggable. He's a very good hug shape. He, however, cannot hug you back, and he would also blow up and take you both out if you hug too long. So, maybe not ideal. But he's cool, and I like him. Except when he sneaks up behind me and tries to murder me. But, that's okay. We all have our issues. Piglin. If you had gold, he would just vibe. He could give a good hugs. He would trade. Without gold, ow, he gonna hurt you. It's gonna be sad. But, unlike the Piglin Brute, he's not just gonna attack you on sight, no matter what. Sometimes he won't. And then, that is when you get good hugs. And I imagine that his ears would do the little floppy thing, and he'd be happy, and it'd be great. All right, Wandering Trader. I think his hugs would be adequate. You'd be able to have a proper reciprocated hug, but you also might end up dangling over a cliff, and that would be unfortunate. The number of times that I've seen this man do that to his llamas is innumerable, and I don't want that to happen to me, but I think he'd at least give adequate hugs. A bat. He's very cute. He could give you little wing hugs. Very small, harder to get a nice proper hug, but he's cute, so he's higher on the list. Again, this is vibes. This doesn't have to make sense. This is just hug vibes. Turtle. Also, could be a bit of a struggle to hug. Shell could be a little uncomfy, but he's very friend-shaped, and I think he would cuddle and hold your hand, and I believe in him for that. He's so rad. I love him. Look at that turtle. Look at that turtle and tell me that I'm wrong. A bee. He's a soft and fuzzy friend. He's hug-shaped. Can't hug you back, and you have to be careful of his wings and the stinger. But if you're careful, I think he'd be a good hug friend. Again, he's adorable. I love him. I have a little Minecraft bee plush, and he's very huggable, so therefore, of course, logic, that would carry over into game. I know it wouldn't, but let's pretend. Pig, hug friend. He'd have a hard time hugging back, but he would happily accept a hug, especially if you bring him treats. Consider. Be wonderful. Look at him. Yes, good. Okay. Ale, he's a friend. He would enjoy hugs. He would try so hard to hug you back. Might not succeed, but he would try. Good snuggles, similar to the parrot. Maybe snuggle into your neck, but he has more arms. So, like, a tiny hug. Might be a little awkward to hug, but he would try, and he'd be good at it, and I appreciate that for him. Number 22, we have the ocelot. He's going to run from hugs at first, but I do think that he'd be snuggly and soft. Wouldn't hug back, but he would snuggle. You can't tame him. So, like, maybe not super long hugs, but I think he'd be snuggly. Also, I did a poster report on ocelots in like 4th grade, and I think they're rad. So there. Polar bear. Big, soft, fluffy hug. I can't ever tell if they're going to attack me or not, so that might cause hugging issues. But it could be worth it to get to hug a polar bear. A mule and a donkey. Very similar. They would accept hugs. They would try. They might not be able to hug back, but I think that they'd be nice, good little lads that would do their best and would have nice hugs, and you could hug them around the neck, and I think it'd be lovely. Similarly, a horse would accept hugs, would hug back with his neck. And you could hug while being transported, and I think that's pretty pog. We have the trader llama. Soft and huggable. That'd be lovely. So fluffy, but is more likely to hug the wandering trader than you. So you will have to deal with that fact. But maybe you could get group hugs. I don't know. There's usually 2 trader llamas and a trader. So, group hugs maybe. That would be nice. We have the llama. Soft and huggable. So very, very fluffy and snuggly. And he has no ties to the trader. So you don't have to worry about that. Like, look at him. Look at him. Such good hugs. We have a rabbit. Me. Soft and huggable. Very fluffy and snuggly. We have small hugs. We have gentle hugs. Look at him. Look at him. Such good hugs. My brethren. This does not necessarily apply to my hugs, but like my brethren, yes. We have a chicken. Soft and huggable. Very small wings. Wouldn't necessarily be able to hug back, but would accept snuggles. I have pet a chicken before. They are very soft. I think it would be a nice hugging experience. We have a panda. Again, soft and fluffy. You're probably noticing a theme here. Would have a difficult time hugging back, but like, imagine snuggling a panda. Like, that sounds amazing. That sounds wonderful. Just hugs. Cow. Soft and fluffy. Would also have a difficult time hugging back, but very friendly. And they're herd animals. You'd have plenty of cows. You would have so many hugs. You would probably be buried in a pile of cows. But it'd be nice. So there we go. We have a mushroom. Soft, cute, baby. They could give you stew without needing to stop hugging. You would never need to stop. Look at him. I love him. I wish the moo blooms were a thing in the game. Camel. An absolute unit of a hug. Look at those floppy ears. He would carry you as you hugged him. Also bonus, laying down animation shows how you could snuggle. I love him. The camels were an excellent addition to the game, and everyone who thinks that they were not is wrong. Villager. A good, a strong, respectable hug. A friend hug. A good hug. He would give good hugs. We have a goat. Soft. Could accidentally bonk you with his horns, but look at him. He looks so huggable. He looks so huggable. I have pet a goat before. It'd be wonderful. They're stinky, but that's okay. That's okay. It'd be worth it. A fox, also soft and huggable. He would curl up around your neck like a little neck pillow, and he'd hug you back. He would hold your keys while you hugged. A portable hug, you could carry him around. He would keep you warm. He's so good. I love him. We have the Ender Dragon. And you're probably thinking, Bunny, why is the Ender Dragon so high on this list? It's because I love her. Imagine being cradled in those wings. She might accidentally bonk you. She has spikes, but she has the best of intentions. When you're not trying to, like, take on her turf, I think that she would give nice cuddly hugs, and it'd be great. You might have a little bit of a harder time hugging her, but I think that she would give you great hugs. We have the sniffer. I love them. They're adorable. Another absolute unit of a hug. Could not hug you back very well, but does have 6 legs. So, hugs. But, he would put his snout on your shoulder and then snuggle in, and he looks really soft, and he's a dinosaur guy, and he's great, and I love him, and that's why he's number 5. So, we have a cat. A good snuggle friend would also curl up around you, already snuggles with you in the bed. When you get in the bed, your cat just comes and snuggles in with you, and it's adorable. And if you've never seen that Minecraft animation, you are missing out, and you need to see it, and I firmly believe that. I love them. Cats are amazing. A wolf slash doggo. A snuggle friend. Soft and fluffy. Could and would hug you back while giving face kisses. My evidence for this is my sibling's husky. No other words needed. A sheep. A sheep. Soft. Woolly. My absolute favorite. He has leggies. He could hug you back. And I know that previously I've put other ones that have a similar quadrupedal arrangement saying that they would have a struggle hugging you back, but he's a sheep, so therefore I say that his leggies, he could hug you back. And I love him, and sheep are my favorite animals, and I love them, and no other reasons needed. Thank you very much. Moving on. And finally, we have number 1, the Enderman. He has long arms. They are good for hugs. He is tall and good for hugging. And so if you were hugging him, there's no eye contact needed. He's not going to have any problems with that. No problems for that. He likes carrying things around. He could carry you around. Just constant hugs. Imagine that. Imagine that. Look at him. He's so friendly. I know that they're like kind of murderous sometimes, but that's when you just look into their eyes or hurt them. So you've provoked them in some way. So otherwise, they're friendly, and I think they're rad, and I think they'd be really good at hugging. So there. And that is my definitive ranking of how huggable I think Minecraft mobs are. Thank you. Have a good evening.